Switch this to live comments.
Yay, we're live. I'm going to share real quick.
She messaged you because she asked me. So I said something on my live about that I was going live with you. Diana goes, "Are you guys doing past live? Should I wait for you and Misty?" I was like, "I think so, but you can go bother her and ask."
You did too. She was like, "Are you doing past lives tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be fun."
She was all excited.
It was very. Just,
it was so funny. She was so excited.
Oh, my Facebook isn't. Of course, people disagree with. I don't agree with them making. I'm just not gonna. I'm just shut up. I'm just gonna shut up.
Hi, Donna. Hi, Krista.
I think everything that's been happening this whole fucking year has been extremely exaggerated by every single person.
Mm-hmm.
Just want everything.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Christina. Welcome, guys.
Ooh. I can't find it.
I'm really sad. I'm going to find all of my
notes.
My child had to have steal it.
I don't want to watch party. Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Going to be doing past life readings tonight. How awesome. So you have two media working overtime.
So excited.
Holy wow, Krista, that's awesome. Yes, Donna, I got you. If you want to get a reading, hurry up and jump on the list. It's $22.
You needed that, Miss Krista. That's not
fine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please. Yes, she did, Miss Donna. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Yvonne. Yvonne.
We're already live on the page and we are live on YouTube. So, how is everybody? Oh, my Lord.
Much better now. Much better. Internet's working. I can see Missy's beautiful face. I am good.
It is hot as a mofo here, let me tell you. So if my fans are loud, you're just going to have to block your ears because it's hot and I'm smelting. I'm smelting. Okay, we're doing paid readings tonight. So if you have any questions about your past lives, if you want a past life reading, it's $22. Any other question is going to be seen and not heard. Because we do lots of free readings, and right now we are energy for energy. So if you want this energy, you got to give me that energy.
It's so much fun.
I joke. I do all those things. Miss Donna. Donna is the first one to prepay for a reading today, so she's the first one to get a reading. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. I am happy to see that you don't wear like long sleeves though, like they do in Australia. Like one of the girls I met for my old business, she'll like say it's like 95 or over 100 degrees, and she's wearing like hoodies and sweatpants. I'm like, you're crazy, lady.
Well, I don't know about hoodies, but long sleeves I understand because the sun will burn the crap out of you.
True, but I don't like being hot. So to me, I'm just like, how can you wear that?
Okay, what past life energy does Donna still deal with in her current life? Give us a sign about what Donna is dealing with in her current life. Right now. I love it. That makes a lot of sense. All right, Donna, we're each going to be doing, you got it, Sue. I got you.
Yay. Sue Woodward. Okay.
All right.
I have a pattern. You?
I've got a pattern. Okay. Go ahead, Tawny.
Okay. What I got for you, dear, is I got trust and faith. I got unrequited love.
I don't have that one.
And I got finances.
Nope, I don't got those.
No.
Okay. It's interesting that you have to work on trust and faith, though. We both got that really strong.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So.
I got trust and faith. And gosh, I'm hearing that this is just from like that stuff that you're working on because of past lives. There was so many, like I'm hearing your whole heart was going into things. And you never you had the trust there and the faith, but then it always got taken away because it never got returned. And I feel like I'm hearing that you always gave the benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt, and finances were always an issue because you had such a big heart with the finances that you would just give. And I'm hearing like a female.
Gotcha, Ashley.
I heard Germany.
I got you, Jennifer.
And gosh, I heard Germany, and I just hear like you just did everything. You just, how I can explain this. And I feel like because of how much you gave, I feel like you're relearning that in this life too. I'm hearing that you're taking that, learning how to balance, and making sure that you're getting that equal back is one of your main things you're learning. And that if you get triggered by trusting people and it falling through, that it comes back from that life in Germany. If you have finance issues, it's about learning how to balance is what I'm hearing. Let's see.
There's an echo.
Is it my end? It probably is. I can put my headphones in.
Is it me or is it weird? It's weird.
It has to be me. I've had internet issues all day. I can plug my headphones in. It has to be. If I can remember how. Oh. I know it took me forever last Thursday to find the hole. Couldn't find it. There we go.
Get it?
There we go. Is that better?
Is it better now? Okay, Stacy.
Or are they hearing your drums? Is that what she means? Sounds like a sonogram.
Is it a business one, Stacy? Okay.
Okay, let's see.
It might be my drums that you're hearing. I was listening to some drumming, but I can turn that down.
Miss Donna, I also feel like you had a lot of relationships with that too, with the trust and faith. That you trusted more people than what you should. And I feel like it bit you in the butt.
Or stabbed you in the back, because I felt that strongly.
Yeah. It always came back.
It's better.
Mm-hmm.
It's all you, Tawny.
I thought it was. It had to be me.
It's interesting. I find it interesting that we both had the trust and faith card.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like, I do honestly feel like this has been a pattern for Donna for a really long time. I just keep seeing circles going over and over again. She does have such a loving heart. She does have such an open heart. And I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call her gullible, but it's almost like she's too trusting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think she's been too trusting. And so the card that I have that goes with that is authority figures. I feel like this Greco-Roman card was showing me a woman. She's wearing a very well-dressed woman, and they mentioned olives. So how do you feel about olives, Donna? Do you like black or green olives? I was seeing green olives, and I kept hearing Greek olives. How do you feel about Greek food? Because I feel like there's just an aversion to Greek food in this life because of the betrayals that you had lived through during your time in Greece. Okay, because I feel like you were accused of something, and I feel like it's around this whole food issue. Honestly, back then, who God only knows, but I feel like it's almost like you were accused of stealing food or misappropriating food in some way in like a household, because I can see you carrying a basket of stuff. And I feel like you were wrongly accused of that. And this is what the authority figure issue comes out, because you had faith and that you would be found. You like Greek food. You had faith that you would be found, that the truth would prevail. Okay. And I'm literally seeing like your hand getting cut off. This is weird. I don't know if this is still the same life or a different life, but I'm just seeing somebody's hand getting cut off. I feel like that's more like an Indian thing, or like but Greece is, these things all start somewhere. This thing about trust and faith, though, it's almost like you can't trust blindly and you can't have blind faith. You have to temper it. You have to temper it and really trust your intuitive guidance, because I feel like if you trust the wrong people blindly, then you end up getting stabbed in the back. And I did feel that. Not green olives. I specifically saw green olives. I feel like if people don't like black olives, they're not human beings, but that's just me. I
don't like anything.
You're the worst.
I'm picky.
Ashley, your past lives can play a role in your current life energy, because it's all happening right now at the same time, because the only thing that exists is now. All right. So they can very much play. So this issue that we're talking about with Donna, and the reason it's important to find out some things about your past life is because it can help you unlock some stages or the secrets to what it is you're working on in this life. Like, what kind of life lesson are you working on, or what are you trying to work through or balance out that's happening in the other lives that are playing out around you right now? Your other lives that are playing out around you. No, Kelly, I don't think that has anything. I mean, everybody's name has a certain vibration. If it was somebody that you really loved and was a good person, then I don't see how that would have any effect on the person. But if it's somebody who had a difficult life, it could just be because of the vibration of the name itself. I don't know. Okay. I hope those made sense to you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome, love.
Well, I'm very glad, Ashley. We're definitely going to get to you. But first, we got Sue. Sue Woodworth. Hiya. You're welcome. Look, be a lady. I don't know why I'm singing that. Sue, do you like gambling? I'm channeling my inner Dean Martin. Hi, Carolyn. Hello, Terry. Thank you guys for joining us. Hello, Jessica.
Hi, guys. Hi, Carolyn.
We're doing our paid readings tonight. We're doing past life oracle readings. We will be looking into your energy. Hi, Sue.
There she is.
Sue's here. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue. She's so cute.
She's adorable. I love her smile. It's such a big smile. Hi, Whitney. Long time no see. What you been up to? Ooh, I got you, Jennifer. Jennifer Lee. All right. Let's see what we got for Miss Sue.
Miss Sue. It's fun. I got authority figures for you. We got, this came out again in the middle. Unrequited love. Requited love. And I got Egypt.
Ooh.
So much fun. So pretty. So, dear, let me hear what we got for you. I'm hearing that you were a male in this life, and when being placed in Egypt, taking place in Egypt, I feel like this was, I'm hearing with pyramids and when everything was really strong. And I feel like you were, I'm hearing you were higher up. I don't know what those roles are called, but I feel like you were higher up and you fought really hard to get there and you got there. But I feel like there was just so many two-faced that you tried so hard and you did not get any of the rewards that they said they would give you. You didn't get the love and attention that you, with all that you sacrificed and all the love that you put into this job. And I feel like it was hard for you because you worked, I'm hearing you worked your ass off to do all this for them and you would barely get like a pat on the back. So I don't know if you have an issue throws you off, because I just feel like you didn't get what you should have gotten. The respect wasn't mutual. But they're showing me that you worked so hard in that life. I'm hearing like you put your life, like you did, like everything that you wanted, you didn't do. Like I'm hearing there wasn't a family, you just worked because you wanted to try to get all the glory is what I'm hearing. But those authority figures did not work with you. Is what I got for you, love.
I got an interesting thing going on here with her. Yes, I got it. If it was a business, Stacy, if it was a business one, yes, Whitney, it's $22 for past life reading tonight from me and Tawny. Mm-hmm. I got it if it's under a business name of something art. Yes, I got that one, Stacy. I got you written on the list. Jen, you're fourth one down. Okay, you're the fourth one down. Okay. All right. I have an interesting thing going on here. I'm seeing, well, I've got the spouse card, I've got the baby card, and I've got the imprisonment or slavery card. I don't feel like this is actually like a prison type of thing. I feel like it could very much align with the unrequited love, because I feel like this marriage that you had in the past, that it was an arranged marriage, okay? And I feel like that your husband didn't love you. He just wanted to procreate an heir. And he's I feel like you were like really used repeatedly, and I felt like you had some failed pregnancies. I don't know if you've had pregnancies in this life, if they've been difficult pregnancies, or if you've just chosen not to have any children. But I feel like part of that is because of the energy of this other life where you really felt like you were used as just a cattle, just used for what you could supply to this man. I really feel like you did not like him at all. And you very much hated your life and your relationship with him. Because it's not like he was a tender lover. Okay. That's not what it was at all. And I feel like you were stuck in this life. I really do. I feel like that was the imprisonment that you felt, like you couldn't escape it. I'm not sure how that's affecting your life in this life. But like I said, if you had chosen not to have children in this life, or if you have had some difficult pregnancies or perhaps have had at least one miscarriage. That would be why this energy is coming forward right now. It can also be just a reminder to tell you that in this day and age, you are not stuck in any situation, and you're quite capable of removing yourself from a situation if you don't agree with it. There is no such thing as being imprisoned in this day and time, in this society. I don't know about other societies, but in the one that we live in, there's always a way to go. You know, there's always a way to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like those three cards were all tied together really, really well. I'm also hearing that you had a daughter, and I'm hearing that you were beaten for giving birth to a daughter. Like, he really was a crazy man. Like it was your fault or something.
Mm-hmm.
People, man. Do you understand these readings as we have channeled them to you, Sue? Sue, are you still here? Did you leave? Sue, did you leave? Sue, did you leave? Come back. Jennifer Hawes, you're next. Okay, Kim. The comments aren't moving. Are y'all commenting? Because they're not moving. Share if you're kind. Share out if you're kind.
Please share.
We are simultaneously broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. If you're interested in a private reading, we both have pretty good deals going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can check out our Facebook page, Misty the Medium, or the Medium line as for Tawny.
Mm-hmm.
Why, thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Donna said she's kind.
She's always kind. Hi, Jennifer.
She is.
Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer, I have the father card for you. So either your father in this life is your father in another life that is affecting this life, or this is about your relationship with your father, the bond that you have with your father in this life. Okay. Do you have a difficult relationship with your father? If that's the case, it might be that you've had a really good relationship with your father and your most previous past life, or the one that's most similar to this one, and you are living out both sides of the coin. Okay. Okay, Whitney, no problem. The next card that I have is the High Priest or Priestess card. This card is saying that at one point in your soul journey, you have been a very spiritual, gifted woman who is able to manifest in ways of earth. You have it also? Yeah, You have the High Priestess card. Both of us have the High Priestess card, Jennifer. So you really need to watch what it is your thoughts are creating. Okay, Sue said, I did have one miscarriage and I have one daughter. I was not planning on having any kids. I hate the feeling of being trapped in a relationship, and I have had too many in this lifetime. You guys rock. I have also had a truly strong obsession with all things Egyptian. Fabulous. That's
awesome, Miss Sue. Oh, I love that.
I am seeing this High Priest or Priestess card. I feel like this is a bloodline thing, okay? I feel like this is something that's passed down through your actual family, okay? So I would say if you were to go back far enough in your family tree, you would see that it started with one woman. Started with one very gifted woman. And I feel like that was you. Okay. So that's where that connection is complete. The circle is complete. I do feel like you have, it's almost like you have manifested a reality to remove or rectify pain you've inflicted on other people using your gifts. You know, like not always that they haven't always been used in a good way. Okay, so I feel like there's this life where you're just it's like people trusted you to help them because you were a healer, and I don't feel like you were always in it for the right reasons, and I feel like that kind of like betrayal kind of stuck with your energy, and now you are living in some kind of a betrayal loop. It's really weird. It's almost like things just keep feeling betrayed and hurt. And I also have the health card, which to me, you are dealing with a health related issue in this life that is also from a previous life. And that's another one of the things. It's like paying for karma. Like people came to you to get help from you, to get healing from you. And I feel like maybe sometimes you overcharged them because you knew they were desperate. And I feel like that's made itself full circle, and you're kind of working through those issues. These health issues that you have, I'm feeling a lot of like, it's almost like a stomach thing. I don't know. I want to keep hold of my stomach. I feel like it's a past life issue that you're working through. It's not really, there's no traceable explanation as to why you experience this health issue that you have. Okay. It's like a mystery issue. What do you got, Tony?
I got the orphan card. I got the karmic relationship. And then I got the high priestess. The high priest or priestess. And I kind of I feel that when you said betrayal, I was feeling that too, because I felt like it all kind of went together, because what I was hearing, I was just seeing this little girl. I was seeing this little girl. I was trying to see what time frame it was, but I see you growing up in this place. I feel like you grew up in this church, and or not this church, like in an orphanage, and I see a bunch of like kids everywhere. But I feel like you got lucky because you had the person who ran it, the person that was there. It was very often that there was somebody who actually cared. And I feel like this person cared as much as she could. Of course, they have their moments. And I feel like she raised you a certain way. And then I feel like as you got older and you broke out, I feel like you got into this relationship and this man was completely different than how you were raised. And it was something from like the past. And I feel like it was a huge lesson for you to be able to break free and be able to be who you are. And I feel like that's where the high priestess came in, is because you felt one way, but you were learning a lesson and having to figure out how to become yourself. So I do feel what Misty said about you having these gifts. And I just feel like you had these gifts within you. And I feel like some of this was from you being an orphan and you being alone all the time and playing with yourself. And I'm seeing you with a bunch of imaginary friends that were spirits talking to you. I'm hearing they were like your soul family. And it just, once you got older, you saw things, you didn't want that life anymore. So I feel like you married for kind of the wrong reasons, to escape the old life. I do feel like you had like a secret life with your gifts and did stuff like that. So I don't know if you ever sometimes, if you have any of that going on, if sometimes being alone feels normal, or being not normal. I mean, like, so if it feels, you have your moments where you enjoy being by yourself and talking and going through things, I feel like it's from a past life. That's what I got for you, dear.
I hope this message made sense to you, Miss Jennifer.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Jasmine. Thank you for joining us in Australia.
Fun.
Next, we have Ashley Buccafuso. I hope I said your name right, and I'm sorry if I didn't.
Is that the one who said she was at work? I don't know if I can scroll up.
Whitney.
Oh, was that Whitney? Okay. I knew I saw somebody said they were at work.
She said she had a strong feeling to participate tonight.
Oh, that was her.
Welcome,
Okay.
Jennifer.
You're welcome, dear.
You're welcome.
There she is.
All right. Here you are, darling. Buckenfoos. I'm trying.
Oh, she's much better at it than I am.
Buckenfuso. That's an Italian name if I ever heard one. It's like Buttafuoco, but not, right?
I have no idea. So, I love it because that's what I was hearing with her first card was Italy.
You were hearing Joey?
I was hearing Italy, but I was going to wait
Italy.
for her. Might have been for her last name.
I love your cards.
Oh.
And Ashley, I'm sure it took a while for you to remember or learn how to say it. Ashley, are you continuing on your spiritual exploration in this life? Because I feel like you have been ticking off all the boxes of the different spiritualities and aspects of spirituality and religion throughout your incarnations. This one I feel will be really interesting because I feel like you're going to be going, like I'm hearing, like a complete 180. The cards that I have for you, I have the Monk or Nun card. This is talking about a sisterhood. Sister. This would be like a Catholic religion. Sisterhood. Cloistered nuns. We just got back into it within the last few weeks, actually. Of course, that makes perfect sense. I don't know if you grew up in a Catholic religion because I'm hearing that you were a cloistered nun in a past life, and I feel like that's a nun that doesn't leave the abbey, right? That's one that doesn't go out into the public. I feel like that was a very extreme life for you. Extreme. I feel so alone. I feel like I have not. I feel like you have literally never had an original thought voiced in that life. I feel like it was a very strict religious life for you as a cloistered nun. The next card that I have, I find super interesting. We're going back a little further and we're looking at persecution and inquisition. This is a different Puritan kind of life here. The Puritans. And what I'm seeing for this one, I'm seeing you literally being one of the, not necessarily one of the people that were persecuted, but I feel you were a persecutor. I feel you were kind of a little bit of a zealot during this time period, would be like the late 1400s, 1490s to be exact, somewhere around that time. You were a man in this life. You were very like a zealot about the evilness of the people that were persecuted during that time. Because I'm seeing you in like a really old style colonial hat with those like half pants with the stockings. I don't know what those clothes are called, but I could totally see it. like one of those people that's just talking about fire and brimstone, and they're just so like, they're so animated about that. They're like spitting when they're talking. Like that was you in that life. You were just so anti-witches and anyone who was seen to be, you know, anyone that was persecuted during that time. You were the first person to light the stake. Sad but true. The last card that we have here is the angel card.
I got that too.
Awesome. I think it's a great one. Out of what? How many cards are in the deck?
44, I think.
Out of 44 cards, we're both getting the same cards for most of you guys. That's pretty cool because she's like in Illinois and I'm in Texas. It's not like sliding cards under the table. But anyway, there'd only be one. Anyway, the angel card, the tears of the angels. I think this is interesting because I feel like you've been dealing a lot with, it's like a fascination throughout your life with angels, angel wings, cherubs, figurines, things of that nature. Just a lot of angel wings and angels are what I'm seeing. And I feel like you like 100 wholeheartedly believe in angels. And I feel like this is something that's just, you know, at a soul level that they exist and that they're around and that they help and guide people. And I also feel like I honestly feel like you've like literally seen an angel. Like you've seen, whether it just be the outline of an angel or like an actual angel, I feel like you've seen one already. And I'm not talking about me. I had to. I couldn't help myself. Had to break the. Okay, but that's what I got for you. What do you got, Tani?
The first one that I got was community living, and for me, I see like I heard Africa right away, and I feel like it was just like I just see like houses and stuff with like people that are together, and then I'll just show the cards. I got baby, and I also got the angel, and I feel like with you, I feel like you were totally what I kept hearing was that you were such a blessing to this community. Like I feel like it was a close knit. I feel like this was a long time ago where people, whatever your gifts were, people would trade amongst each other. And I feel like with you, you were such, I feel like you were a manifester with just gifts and stuff, and you help people. I feel like you were just a blessing child to this community because of the gifts that you did have. And I feel like you communicated, and just being an earthbound angel is what I heard with the angels, and believing and helping people in your community. I'm hearing that you raised them up. And I feel like you did a lot of healing with these people. I don't know if you were, a part of me doesn't know if you were always aware of the gifts that you had, that you just did it because that's what you heard, and you just went with it because you have such a big heart chakra. I feel like you just helped people in any way you could. That this community, I'm hearing the community that you lived in thrived because of somebody like you, and you gave them hope and you taught them things that you were able to, I'm hearing with plants too and herbs and stuff like that, you were able to help these people so much. And the angels, you were a big believer then too. I feel like you listened, you heard, and you just shared with them.
I am feeling, Ashley, I'm going to give you a bit of advice, okay, because I feel like you really need to start speaking your truth, okay, because this pain that I'm feeling in my throat chakra is so like crippling. I honestly would be surprised if you don't constantly have issues with your throat, sore throat, dry throat, itchy throat, coughing, having to clear your throat or take cough drops a lot or something or tonsillitis or strep throat a lot, because I feel like you have a serious issue here with not speaking your truth and not voicing your opinion because you're so concerned with what other people will think. Okay. I feel like you need to start really letting it fly. For sure. Okay. Who are you talking to, me or Tani? But I definitely feel like there's an issue here where you need to get this out, because it's kind of like calcifying in your throat. We cannot move into our heart center unless we like assimilate an understanding between the mind and the heart. You need to be able to have the masculine and the feminine in unity, and you can't do that without your throat chakra and your third eye chakra being open, and you can't open your throat chakra if you don't speak the truth. Okay. And I want to remind everybody that if you are in a relationship that causes you fear, you need to find a resolution to that. That's for anyone. That's not just for Ashley. Okay. Okay. Now we have Miss Stacy. Carrie will be on for a little bit. We only got about 3 more paid readings to do, but probably at least 30 minutes. Stacy, are you here? I'm available for readings tomorrow, Ashley, if you want to get a private reading with me. Feel like you were brought here for a reason. Stacy, oh Stacy. Yes, I know, babe. I know, babe. There's a lot of anger building up inside of you. Okay, just so you know, I can feel it building. It's getting stuck right here. I feel like just message me later, okay? Stacy, wait. Carrie, if that message resonates with you, then by all means take it and run with it. Run right to the bank. Just got over strep throat last month. Yeah. Absolutely.
That is no fun.
Stacy, are you ready for your reading? Stacy,
where are you?
Carrie, who, what? I literally said Stacy 5 times. Is your name Stacy? Is it? Did you change your name and you didn't tell us? You know you got to tell us first. We don't accidentally call you Carrie. I don't want to call you somebody that you ain't no more. Do you already have Stacy's cards?
I do.
I love all of the High Priest cards coming out. I love it.
I don't see her. You want me just to go?
Yeah, just go ahead, because she can listen to it on the replay.
I got Greco-Roman.
Lovely.
And we got community.
That's it with you, Carrie.
I can't speak. Communal. I can't speak. Living. Communal. There, my mouth can work today. And Love Life.
That was me the other day. I was like,
gosh, I just can't speak. Let's see what they want to share with this. seeing you as a male in this life, dear, and I'm seeing this as the time, like, where they had, I don't even know what those are called, but the horses, and they would do the fighting, and what are those called? Not the sleds. I don't remember. What are those things called?
What?
Where they had the horses, and they would stand in them, in like that Roman time.
Travis would know.
I can't remember what. Hopefully she knows. She'll know what that means. Oh, yay, a crying child.
I know what. Gladiators. They were gladiators?
Yeah, that.
No, Donna, the ones where they're standing, not the ones where they're on a horse. The ones where they're standing and they're being chariots. There you go. The chariot races. You're on Stacks reading now? What does that mean, Kristen? Kristen, I don't know what that means. Is it my devil child, Miss Isabel?
Yeah, she said Lily hurt her.
Oh, what?
I know.
What?
I need to separate them completely.
And what, did Lily get in trouble?
I told him to go have Daddy deal with it. I don't even know where he's at, but
So favorited.
They're not. Lily's just a good sneak. I told Lily them not to touch each other. I always tell her to say sorry. God, all they do is hit each other. Okay. There's Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. We're doing you right now.
She's
talking about your card in the Greco-Roman area, and she's talking about you being in chariot races.
Yes, that's what it is. And the chariot races, and I see you doing that. And you loved it.
Yes, Patty.
And I'm seeing that you had like such a group of people that that you worked with. And I feel like there was this one lady that was around that came and watched all the time. And I feel like she, because of her beauty and everything, I feel like a lot of the guys that you guys did the races with were all smitten by her. That's what I feel like. And you guys all fought for her. But I'm hearing at the end with these races and everything like that, I'm hearing that you did end up being able to have this woman as your wife, because they show me that together. But it was rough. I'm hearing there was a lot of fight with the guys, that everybody thought they were deserving of her. But I'm hearing that she was definitely meant to be with you. And I'm seeing that this was just something that you love to do. The races were just everything. But I do hear once you two got married, you did settle down with her. They're showing me that you guys had 4 kids together. I'm seeing 3 boys and a girl. And they're just, I don't know if you're in a relationship now where it was love at first sight, because that's how they made me feel, that this was love at first sight for you. That you were close with the people that you did races with. It was just that manly, I'm going to win thing that they were all going through. And they're showing me that you were a very strong, I'm seeing tall, blonde, very strong, very determined. And I do feel like that you came from, they're showing me that you came from a family that you weren't poor, you weren't really rich, but you were able to get by. You came from a family, you had good morals, and they're showing me that you, they're showing me you were very balanced with your life, but they keep showing me the horses and the chariots. Is what I have for you, dear. I'm happy my child came up crying so you could hear that.
So how do you think that is affecting her now?
Hold on, Lily. You can go back down. Why don't you go sit in your room? Go. Okay. I feel
she's short.
I'm short. Well, I do feel that could That's almost what I was gonna say. I feel like it's kind of. I was gonna say, for this life, I felt like what it brought to you was that I'm hearing that you don't have to. When it comes to certain things, you don't have to be in competition. That you can just go follow your own heart and not have to. I'm hearing you don't have to push buttons push people's buttons and stuff like that as much. I feel like just going for what you want. Sis, out. Oh, am I married?
You're working.
God. Let me get back to my train of thought. So I feel like with this life, I feel like you may bring in a little bit of, I feel like that drive is what you bring into it. You may not have the violence and you may not have as much as the competition. I feel like you have that work drive to go for what you want. And when you love hard is what I'm hearing. That you make sure it's for the right reasons. And I feel like you I'm seeing that you make sure things are mutual. I feel like it may come off that you're picky, but you know what you deserve and what you want when it comes to relationships is what I'm hearing.
Okay. I like my cards.
What'd you get?
This one again.
Again. I love it.
But what's interesting is I got this one too.
Ooh.
So it's such strong energy together. What I find really interesting about this is I'm literally seeing like an indigenous people. It's almost like you were in like a Native American family that was like the medicine man and the medicine woman's family, and it was like expected of you. It was expected of you to continue on, to carry on, to literally be passed the mantle, to be the medicine woman for the tribe. But I feel like you did not want this life. I feel like you didn't. You weren't comfortable with the kind of reverence that your family got. You knew that even though like your dad was a shaman, he wasn't always kind, and you saw the other side of him that people didn't see. And I honestly feel like you denied your heritage. Your partner is indigenous, and my 4 foster children are Aboriginal. That's exactly what I was seeing. I was seeing Aboriginal people.
I love
that
it.
is crazy. I was seeing the Aboriginal people, but I feel like you literally, I feel like you left your family because you fell in love with somebody. Like somebody came through your settlement, and I feel like you left your family, you left them high and dry, is what I'm feeling. And I feel like, and I'm getting a very, very, very strong indication that this was what created such distortion. And I think you will know what I mean by distortion. Okay, you've always been a carer or nurse. Okay, the distortion that I'm seeing is like you refused to be the person responsible for your tribe about their health and their wellness, and like the gifted person in the tribe, you just didn't feel like it was meant for you. And then somebody caught your eye, and you just disappeared one day. You left with him, and you just lived your own life. I got this forgiveness card, and I got hard chills. Okay. I feel like we're letting this play out. I'm not sure if somebody in your family, if somebody in your current family doesn't agree with your relationship, or if they feel like they've been betrayed by you, or you feel betrayed by your family. Okay. However that is playing out in this life, I feel like it's just to balance this betrayal that you perpetrated in a past life. Okay. Know that we all make choices, and they're either going to pay off positively or negatively in the waves that surround us in our other lives. So this is just one of those situations that people did not appreciate, and they felt betrayed. And so I feel like you're having to deal with a lot of feelings and thoughts of betrayal in this life. And I feel like it's just working itself out. The good of the people is what I'm hearing. You were supposed to do it for the good of the people. And I feel like you made a decision for the good of yourself. And it was more like a selfish act instead of a selfless act. So that's why I feel like you're very selfless in this life, why you've been a carer and a nurse, selflessly giving of yourself to the people. That makes a lot of sense to me. I hope it makes a lot of sense to you too. All right, Stacy. Next we have Jen Lee.
Jen Lee.
I got you, Carrie. You're welcome. She said, I'm extremely selfless in this life. Sometimes, exactly. I feel like you're just trying to balance the scales of justice. Hello, Jen.
Aw.
Jen, you've cried entirely too many tears in your life, love. Entirely. Kim, I don't even have you on the list, babe. What do you mean?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I don't know what's going on. Let me look and see if PayPal just didn't notify me.
Miss Jen, what I got for you, while she's doing that, I got farm, got monk or none, and I got the Egypt card for you, dear. Let's see.
I don't have it, Jen. I mean, Kim, I don't. Let me see.
Make sure you hit send.
Make sure you hit send. It's on the next stream. Okay, where it is. Hold on, I refreshed again. You're right after Jen, actually. Well, that works out. I'm going to squeeze you in.
Okay, let's see. What do we have here?
Thank you for asking. Good night, Donna. I got you, Kim. You're right after this one. Okay.
Hey, Miss Donna. Okay. So Miss Jen, when the farm and the monk and all that came out, I was hearing like the Amish, and then I feel like it was that type, the Amish living that you had in Egypt. So I feel like the way you were raised was, or the way the living was just so different. That I see like you on the farm, like I'm seeing a family farm with lots of with rows and rows of like the vegetables and the herbs and fruits, and just I see you planting all the time and collecting. I see you going through, putting everything in a basket, taking care of the animals. That you did this since you were little. And I feel like with the monk or nun, I feel like there was just like, I feel like it was pushed on you. Religion was just something really big that you went to. And I'm hearing that you had I'm hearing you had a good balance when it came to your religion and work life. That you just, I'm hearing you are just a believer, and everything that they taught you and said, you just followed through that. And I feel like you ended up going towards that way, being very spiritual, being very, I'm hearing, connected to God in that life. So in this life, you may either be very into church, into religion, or you can be the complete opposite way. But I do feel like for this life, what you took from that is, I feel like I'm hearing very organized and enjoy having something to do. I feel like you took from this life, like being hands-on and going through things and being able to plan is what I'm hearing, because with the farm, you had daily schedules and you had things that you had to help with this. And I'm hearing you had schedules because of it being so hot at times that you guys did things before that peak came. I'm hearing that family was really important for you too in this life. So I feel like if that's something that is going on in this life, where family means a lot to you, and being able to, I'm hearing carry forth. I don't know if you have kids or not, or if you thought about having kids. I feel like that came from this life too, because it was something in that lifetime that was important to people, to be able to have children. Yeah, they're telling me, like, in this life, you're very, like, I don't know, I'm hearing that you're hard on yourself and driven because you want to get things done. Does that make sense, love?
I feel like she's all business for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes they go so fast, I'm like, slow down, I can't keep up with you. Right? The pictures just go as a movie. I'm like, I can't talk that fast.
I have some really interesting cards.
What do you have?
The first card I have is the Asia card. And the interesting thing about this, when I'm concentrating on this card, I'm seeing like not necessarily like a geisha girl, but it's almost like you're a dancer when they would do those. It's like a silent play on a stage where they would be like acting out a story, but it's quiet and it just has a little bit of like fluting and drumming in the background. And I see you like with these long sleeves and you're like doing these spinning things on this stage as one of these dancers. You're playing a part. That's what they're telling me. You're playing a part. Okay. Good morning, Fred. Yes, for sure, Jen. And I think that's interesting because I feel like when you like listen to music in your house and you start dancing around, you literally feel like you can accomplish anything. Mm-hmm. This is crazy because like you had a lot of notoriety. Like these people that did these, like they traveled around and they told a story about, it's almost like a history play, you know, like they would dance and it would like tell a story about the places they've been and the things that they've seen in other like towns and stuff. It's really neat the way I'm seeing it. It's really super cool. But what I feel like when you start listening to music in your house or whatever, and you start really dancing around and getting into it, you're feeling the power of this life 100% like flowing through you, because I'm telling you, it was a hell of a ride. What I'm hearing, like you were treated with so much like reverence and respect for being part of this group of like, there were artists, really, like truly artists. The next thing that I've got for you with this karmic relationship, what she was talking about. Yes, Eva, we sure are. What she was talking about with you being the strong one and being a workhorse and like getting things done. I feel like that has a lot to do with this past relationship, because in this relationship that is affecting your current relationship, I feel like you were with somebody that was all play and no work. And I feel like you had to really pick up the slack for them. Like they were out there like chasing thrills and really just, they had a life where they were just gone all the time, just like chasing the thrill, you know, just a thrill seeker. And they weren't very responsible. They were a joker. They were just, you know, they were fun to be around. It was like a contagious energy for you because you just, it was so different from you. He was so different from you that it like you couldn't help but be attracted to him because he was so vibrant. Okay. And I feel like you took care of everything. I feel like you took care of everything. You took care of the home. I'm not seeing any children in this life with him because I don't feel like he was there often enough. It's almost like he was a race car driver and he was like going around to different races. It's almost kind of what it's like. So he wasn't there very much, but you took care of everything for him. You took care of everything for him at home because you wanted to show him how valuable you were. Like he could depend on you. But you couldn't depend on him because he was never there. It's interesting. And the last card I have for you is the wisdom card. No problem, Eva. The wisdom card is really, it's about this lifetime that you're in right now is all about gathering all of the knowledge that you have learned in other lifetimes to culminate so you can embody this powerful woman without having to do the dance, without having to put on the mask, without having to be everything for one person to make yourself feel like power. Okay, this wisdom card is showing you all the power that you have. Okay, and I really feel like it's time for you to start remembering all the power and all the wisdom that you've accumulated over the course of your soul journey. Okay. Yes, Carrie, I got you. I told you. I already put you on the list. Why are you stressing me? Did I not say Carrie? I have her on here.
I thought you did.
I could have sworn I did. That's what I got for you, and I hope those readings make sense to you. Patty, it's Kim, Whitney, and then you. Kim, Whitney, Patty, and Carrie. Carrie, just hush, woman. Hush, woman. You're welcome, Jen. I hope it makes sense to you.
You're welcome, Jen.
Now, remember what I said about dancing and feeling the power flowing through you, because I really think that's going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kim, you ready? Why I oughta, Carrie. Carrie. Okay, Eva, I got you on the list. Did you hear that, Carrie? I just told Eva I put her on the list. You're not too late, April love. No problem.
There she is.
Gotta get through them here because somebody. I gotta do a reading after this.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Kim.
Ooh.
All right, Kim. I am seeing here that your mother. Oh, I gotta take Jen's thing off of there. Shoot. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kathy. Kim, I'm seeing that your mother in this life has been your mother in a previous life, and that this is showing you have a really good bond with your mother or a really difficult bond with your mother. I am hearing that your mother has ruled with an iron fist, so I'm not sure if this is in this life or the past life. You would be the one to be able to distinguish that. Okay. But I am feeling your mother ruled with an iron fist. And I feel like that has a lot to do with authority figures. Okay, so it could be that you're very like you're a pacifist in this life because your mother has ruled with an iron fist, or her word has been law. Okay, or it could be this one, or it could be this past life energy with the Native American strings that's coming through. That's right, Patty. Well, I'm glad you reminded him. But this Native American energy coming through could be the mother energy that I'm feeling right now, because all these three cards are touching each other. I do feel like your mother was very stern. If she's not in this life, she was in this one that I'm seeing here. Very stern woman. She's a stern taskmaster. Yes, when you were younger. Very stern taskmaster. Everything has to be done very precisely. I feel like the quality of, oh, you are Native American? Well, there you go. The quality of the work that she did was what she took pride in. Okay, so when she is teaching you to do things, she is teaching you with the quality that she knows how to do them. And so this is why she's very stern about her teachings and how she wants you to go about the world, because she feels like the way she goes about life is the right way. That's a mom for you. But I honestly feel like this is all about like continuing traditions and making sure that the family name continues to have like that connotation about quality, quality people, quality ethics, quality morals, being upstanding, and never having anything negative to say about her through you. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for you, Kim. So that's past life energy continuing through in this life.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
So, what I got for you, Miss Kim, is I got Atlantis, and I got Wisdom.
Fred, I like his mother.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Of course you do, Fred. Of course.
So I really, really like this love for you, because with Atlantis, I feel like you've been through so much that this really was. Let me listen. I feel like through all the stuff that you went through in your life in Atlantis, I feel like if there's things that trigger you in this life, things that make you jump, if you have a fear of water, or if you don't like being in the ocean, this is where this is probably coming from. But I feel like this is something, I'm hearing this is a strong past life for you that you bring forth in. The stuff that you went through, you bring forth in all of your lives. And you bring that wisdom of everything that you learned about being a fighter and about, I'm hearing, surviving and just everything that you fought for. I'm hearing that you were a male in this life. I'm hearing you were a male in this life, and I'm hearing like the baby card. The baby card could also mean like you may remember some like, and it could just be you remembering this, but I also am seeing that this all happened after you had your first child, and I'm seeing a little boy, and it was everything, that all the tragedies, everything just started. And they're showing me that you were a man of hope, and you saw so many things in this life, and I feel like you brought that forward, that the hope that you have. I do feel like some things may subconsciously trigger you, or if something triggers you and you don't know why, I feel like it came from this life. And I do feel like I don't know if you're married or not, my dear, but I do feel like your spouse or your whoever, if you're not married yet, I feel like I'm hearing that your spouse that you may be having, your firstborn, okay, I feel like your spouse is somebody that was in this life with you. So I feel like some things you guys have this connection with. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that you pull in this life with knowledge and wisdom, you pull from your past. I'm hearing especially with juggling how to mirror and be a mom, work, and just surviving through everything that's going on. So happy love. I hope that makes sense.
Making dessert arrangements.
Ooh, what are we having?
Sherbet. Hey, are you the kind of person that says sherbet or sherbet?
Sherbet.
Okay, apparently there's no R in sherbet. It's sherbet. Because I've been saying sherbet my whole life.
That's how I've always heard it. Sherbet.
One of those Mandela effect things. Yeah. Okay.
Never
Kim.
heard of it like that.
Yeah, look it up. It's sherbet. No R. Sherbet. B-E-T.
That sounds weird.
It's stupid.
It's
Who even does that? Just like it's the Bernstein Bears, not the Bernstein Bears.
Really?
Yeah.
I always call them the birds. Are you sure?
Oh, I know.
Oh, that's
I was just like, it's blowing my mind.
oh my goodness.
I was watching all that stuff on YouTube, like all the Mandela effect evidence and that we're on different timelines that we used to be. I agree with it. But anyways, Kim, the first two cards that I got for you go together. I was seeing visions of this and they go together. The first card here is the finance card. And what I'm seeing with this finance card is I'm seeing you loading up a trunk, okay, like a trunk full of these old, I don't even know what they were called. They were the king's coins. That's all I kept hearing. The king's, I have sherbet. Yeah, sherbet, exactly. The king's coins, okay, the king's coffers, the king's coins. And I feel like the king was like funding an expedition, okay, and you're carrying this. It really is like a chest of coins onto a ship, and this is what I'm seeing, you carrying this heavy chest of coins onto a ship. And this is to it's like the ship is supposed to go to a different country and like buy things or something like that is what I'm seeing. But the ship never made it. I feel like the ship went down in a storm and the money was lost. Okay, so what I was seeing for these cards is I feel like you are either extremely responsible with money because you're still feeling very responsible for the king's money. You're either like super aware and very tight-fisted with your money. You don't want to spend it. You don't want to let go of it. You don't want to give it to anyone. It's almost like you're extremely protective of your money. Okay. And I feel like it's because of this situation where you were in the custody of the king's coins and you and the ship went down. Okay. You had to Google it? What is it? Yeah. Sorbet. No, it's not sorbet. That's totally different. It's sherbet. Sherbet. It's not sorbet. That's totally different. Okay. And then the other card that I have for you is the Angels card. So that's come out a couple of times here. Mm-hmm. This card is literally telling me about angelic guidance and protection for you right now. It's not necessarily, your life as an angel in the past or something like that. I am feeling like you have a lot of angelic protection. So this is about you losing a loved one, and they are coming through to tell you that they are guiding and protecting you from the other side. That's the message that I'm getting, that having a lot of angelic protection. But you need to relax a little bit about money, okay? This is you like constantly being stressed about money, worried about money, like always wanting to count your coins and keep track of your money, not wanting to make expenses, things of that nature. That's what I was getting for that. You could also have, because of this ship's card, you could also have a fear of the ocean. Like you don't want to be, you like being at the ocean on the beach and maybe put your feet in the water, but you don't, you actually have a strong fear of the ocean because of dying at sea.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sometimes that correlates to a healthy respect, but that just means you're afraid to drown, which is normal if you've already drowned at sea. I have a healthy respect for the ocean because I have drowned at sea. I was on the Titanic. It was not fun. Okay. Next. Whitney.
Yay.
Whitney is at work, so we'll just do hers.
Okay. I knew somebody was at work.
Where?
Just remember.
Whitney, where are you? Whitney, it's time for your reading.
She has a fear of drowning. That makes sense for both of our readings.
Absolutely, love. Absolutely. Okay, Miss Whitney.
She's here.
Yay, she's here. You're welcome, Kim.
Oh.
Whitney, what a cute baby.
I
know.
My God.
Yes, there is a list, Brandy. These are paid readings. The readings are $22 if you would like to have one. Make a payment through PayPal, which is in the description box of the video, and we'll put you on the list. Okay, babe? Tonight's for paid readings. Whitney, Whitney, Whitney. Whitney, have you ever heard that expression, Erin go bra? It's an Irish thing. I don't even know what the hell that means. You're a horrible swimmer. Erin go bra meaning.
End of time, meaning the phrase may be translated literally as Ireland until eternity or Ireland to the end.
Okay.
Ire go brath is also used in Irish and means the same thing.
Eternity, Ireland until eternity, or Ireland to the end. So that is interesting because this Celtic card, that's what I heard with this card, Erin go bra. Are you still Irish? Are you Irish, Whitney? Because I think it's super interesting that is what I heard with this card. And if you look on there, the circle is what I'm being drawn to and how it's a continuous circle without breaking. There's 4 seasons, 4 seasons. Don't be a martyr. Okay. I do feel like this is like, I'm getting a whole Braveheart thing right now. That's kind of interesting coming through with this father card. I'm seeing a man with very dark hair and striking blue eyes. A lot of it Irish. Okay. So I feel like this is just, it's all about like Ireland for eternity. I feel like your soul family is always going to, at this point anyways, always going to incarnate with some kind of Irish heritage. The father, I feel like he was lost in a battle, some kind of a war situation. I'm seeing like plaid, what do you call those? Tartan plaid. This is in the 1200s. Braveheart was Scotland. Hey man, I'm just getting the references, darling. Celtic is also, Ireland, Scotland, the UK, that whole general area. That's what it says in the book anyway. I do feel like your father is the same man now that not the same man, close to the same man now that he was in this life in the 1250, 1254 is the year that I'm seeing. I don't know what kind of battles happened in 1254, but that's what I'm seeing. And your father, I feel like you were very young when you lost your father, and I feel like it caused your family to be put in a situation where your mother was at a major disadvantage, and I feel like it caused a lot of hardship and resentment. And this also is coming out with a forgiveness card. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your father in this life, but I feel like there's this river of resentment coming through your lives. It's like a whirlpool of resentment that you need to work through. Okay. And some of it feels like betrayal or abandonment issues. So maybe you're continuing to deal with that, forever thing here that I got, Ireland forever. I feel like this is something that it just needs to come around to the point where you can accept that was the life that your dad chose, and there's not really, we can't fault him for doing what a man would do during that time. Okay. It's like now it's different. People don't need to fight for their lives. And well, I can't say that truthfully right now, but I feel like people do feel like they need to fight for their lives and their freedom right now. But I just feel like maybe it's coming to a point of full circle where you might be able to understand that we all make choices, and it shouldn't. Absolutely. I'm glad your daughter does too. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't been there much. We all make choices, and they're the ones that, the people that make the choice are the ones that really, truly have to live with the choices and decisions that they make. I understand that they affect the people around them, and it's painful, but it's not literally his life. It's his life that he's affecting, yours in a peripheral way, but just because you want something that he wasn't able to give you. Okay, go for it, Tawny.
Okay. Hey, my dear, you got finances. You got biblical. Ooh, which I heard some amazing things. I'm really excited. And you got ships. So, my dear, the biblical was really standing out to me, and they're showing me that you were one of the important men when it came to when all of that time happened. And
like the 12 disciples or what?
I kept hearing one of the 3 men is what I kept hearing.
3 wise men?
Yeah, the 3 wise men. I kept hearing it, and then I told them to wait because you were talking. And they just, like, I don't know how you feel about the Bible, but I feel like some of it is like, I'm hearing some of it you may not go with it you're hearing, because I'm hearing your soul knows the truth of what happened. And I feel like the ships was you traveling and stuff like that. I feel like finances weren't that big. Finances weren't something that was on your mind when you had money. I feel like you knew how to handle it, but they're just showing me you in that time and you traveling, because I see two men, and then I see you, and you just keep walking. And I feel like, I don't know how you are about the spiritual side, but I keep hearing that you need to re-tap into that and bring your spiritual side up and really just listen to yourself. And I'm hearing that you need to trust yourself because you have all this wisdom and all of this in you. And what I think you bring forward with that is you just being, I'm hearing a very loving person, a very giving person. I feel like you would go anywhere that you need to go to help a family member or a friend. I don't know if you like traveling or like boats. If you don't, it's probably from traveling so much. But let's see. And I feel like you kind of bring forward with this one too is about the finances. I feel like I don't feel like it's something that I feel like it's something that you balance. Like you know that you need it, and when you have enough, you're good. I feel like you're not somebody who is constantly driven to money, 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 money. I feel like you bring with you from that life of having that balance of what you need is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing that you need to, like, when things, I'm hearing from, because my throat's starting to clench, I feel like you need to not be so nervous to speak your truth either. Because I feel like you have a lot of wisdom within you that needs to be heard from the people around you. Don't be so nervous about what people are going to say. So I feel like it's going to help a lot. Open their eyes. People need new perspectives.
Absolutely. Wonderful. I hope those messages made sense to you, dear. And I hope you were able to hear them while you're at work. Next, we have Patty Tait.
Hi, Miss Patty.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Patty, may I ask, are you the epitome of a feminine woman? Like, are you the kind of person that lets the man make the decisions and you kind of don't really put forth a lot of dominant energy in a relationship? I'm asking because of what I'm seeing with these cards that I have here. I have the male-female card, which is an interesting card by itself. But right next to it, I have the orphan card. Now, I feel like how this works, heck yeah. I feel like how this works is at some point in your past lives, you were abandoned as a small child. You were orphaned by your family and left to fend for yourself. And as a result of that abandonment, you had to learn how to be strong. You had to learn how to take care of yourself. You had to learn how to be tough. And you had to have strong wits about you. Okay, these are what I'm seeing with these two cards. They're very strongly connected together. You had to stay light on your feet is what I'm hearing, and you had to be very aware of your surroundings. I feel like it's almost like you grew up to be some kind of a tomboy or some kind of ruffian because you didn't have a choice. You had to be strong. You had to be tough. So I feel like in this life, here she is over here, even though she's strong and tough, she's still wearing this little hat and a frilly shirt. And so I feel like you're being very quiet. Very quiet. It's like your lion did its roaring and now it's sleeping. That's what I feel like. I own it because I have big boobies and I don't have to ask my husband for anything. Yes, I do feel like you let people wait on you hand and foot and just I feel like you definitely use your feminine wiles to the hilt, and like what I was hearing was a shrinking violet. You're just a very sensitive and I can't see the blood kind of a person, and I think it's really funny, but I feel like it's because you've already had to be strong. It's because you've already had to figure out everything that you needed to do with yourself. You had to make all the choices for your life. You had to protect yourself and feed yourself, and now you're just like, I'm going to let somebody else do that for me, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I need a break. Okay. This other card is kind of, I don't know, I'm not really getting much from this. other than there's a good possibility that you worked in a prison. Because I'm also seeing somebody like hitting on the bars and stuff. So I don't know if you were some kind of a prison guard, or you feel like you need to keep a very close eye on people, keep people in line, being very watchful, making sure things stay orderly. And it could also be that you're some kind of a peacekeeper in this life. George, stop scratching the chair. But that's what I'm seeing for this imprisonment or slavery card. I don't feel like you were actually imprisoned. I feel like you were like a peacekeeper or some kind of mob control person, someone who really was all about keeping the peace. And that goes along with you feeling like a shrinking violet, just, I don't want to see the violence. You don't want to see it. You don't want to be reminded of what you've seen, that kind of a thing. Peacekeeper. Okay, Tony, your turn.
Okay. I got the forgiveness card. Got Asia. And Father card for you, love. So what I was feeling for this, I feel like you were born into this with your family with high beliefs. Every time, sis, I will tuck you in a minute. Every time we talk. I miss you too.
Did
you sing?
I don't remember singing.
No.
Crazier things have happened.
I was gonna say I was listening. I don't remember you singing though. Miss Patty, what I'm hearing is like you were this family that you were born into. I'm hearing was the culture of this family was just very high, and it was about girls, that you had a lot of lessons to learn in this life when it came to sacrificing for things and pushing for things and just knowing where you came from and who you are. I do feel like, to me, I feel like the forgiveness I'm hearing is something that you brought forward in this life. I do feel like with the father figure, it could be a father that you have the same father from this life is what I'm hearing. And I feel like he may not be, I don't know if he's as strict as a very strict father now, but I feel like it has taught you how to balance. Like he taught you how to balance things in that life. And I feel like you bring that forward in this life a lot, learning how, I'm hearing, to see both sides of things, not judging, and just, I feel like also when things get heated between people, and I don't know if things sometimes when your parents fought, you just kind of you didn't always want to be in the middle of it, and you knew people have to work things out themselves. Because like you said, you are a peacemaker, but sometimes when it's too much, I'm just seeing you saying, it's okay, let it go. Let's move forward is what I'm hearing for you, love. But I feel like you bring a lot of the stuff that you learned into this life too, about like, let's see, like opinions, like sharing your opinions about things, wanting to be heard, and just sharing like your love of life and everything that you learn. That you learned in this life, I feel like you bring to that. And I feel like with everybody that you meet in this life, I feel like you get to know them and give a love and respect that you learned from this past life.
That makes sense, Patty?
Mm-hmm. I heard things don't happen by accident.
Ever.
That's what they wanted.
Coming over here to jump all over my table right now. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack. Coming to hijack the place? Next, we have Carrie. It's your turn, Carrie. Pay attention.
Carrie.
Yes. Basic.
Basics.
Hi, Jack. Hi, buddy. How's it going? Hi, Jack. Meow. Meow. Cats get so skinny in the summer because they stay outside all the time. Mm-hmm. They come in, they eat for 5 seconds, and they run back outside. Hi. Yay, Carrie. Okay. Yes, Eva, I have you on the list. You're next. You're next. Okay. Carrie, I have 3 cards for you, and I've split them up into 2 things. I feel like they're 2 separate storylines here with 2 separate lessons. You're badass in this life, but bad at technology. Yeah, it happens to the best of us, Patty. Okay, the very first card that I got for you is the biblical card. I feel like you, honestly, I'm feeling like you were some kind of a woodworker actually in this lifetime, because I'm seeing you working with your hands. I'm not sure if you still make things with your hands, or crafty, or you enjoy home, like rough style furniture, just like basic necessities. And I do feel like there's this kind of a fascination with, I don't know, cedar furniture, something along those lines, where it's like, it's very natural looking. I feel like we have this fascination with that because of your ability and your talented gift of working with wood back in the biblical time. I feel like you were a very good carpenter in some way. Not the carpenter. Let's get that right. You weren't Jesus, but you were a carpenter as well as Jesus, okay? So I feel like you appreciate a well-made piece of furniture. You're good at fixing things? Okay, cool. That's what I feel like. You have like an innate ability to like make things. Okay, the next 2 cards that I have for you are Asia and vows. And I was specifically hearing about a vow of silence. So I feel like this would be you as some kind of a Tibetan monk, or some, I don't know what kind of monk it is, but back in this period, there was like, it's a vow of silence. You were a male, and I'm seeing you wearing like a red outfit. And I don't know where that is indigenous to, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you wearing like a monk with a red outfit, and taking a vow of silence. And I feel like it was for 14 years. So there could be a very good possibility that you're uncomfortable with silence in this life, and you feel the need to fill the silence. Okay. It could mean that you're either extremely comfortable in silence or extremely uncomfortable in silence. It can go either way for you now. And I feel like this is all about you needing to talk to people like all day, every day. I honestly don't feel like you're very comfortable being quiet. And it has nothing to do with how much you misinterpret the words before now. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with some people are just not comfortable with silence. Kids especially, for some reason, have to fill every speck of silence. I don't know why. Monk on saffron colored robes. Yes. You're comfortable with silence. Like I said, it could go either way. It could be you're either very comfortable with silence, because I feel like you took a vow of silence for 14 years. Literally saw the number 14 when I was talking about it. And I feel like this is a place where there was a lot of like mountains and snow-covered mountains. So I don't know if you enjoy going to the mountains, or if you're like been there, done that, and it doesn't really, if you're more of a beach person, like I said, it can go either way. Okay. But that's how that's translating through this life. What do you got, Tony?
We got prosecution, if I can talk, and inquisition. How do you say that? Inquisition. The prosecution stuck out to me for this one, and forgiveness. And you got love life. And what I was seeing right away with this was I was seeing witchcraft and spells and just being I'm seeing you secretly doing this because it was something that was just witchery that people didn't see, but I feel like you just had a love for this and hearing and having your gifts. And I feel like because of the prosecution I feel like people questioned you and people talked behind your back, and I feel like you already knew all of it. So like the forgiveness was something that you had to learn, that not everybody was going to take you as you are. And I feel like what was it that I was going to say?
I can't spell.
Let me think what I was going to say. I feel with that. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Okay, with that, I feel like in this life, if you feel like nobody can do much harm to you, or if you feel like you know that you're safe, is because of learning that from this life and knowing that spirituality, I'm hearing that it's okay. I don't know if you're open into any of spirituality or into any gifts that you have. I do feel like with this life too, that I feel like if you don't pay attention to it, I do feel like you're able to read people, and you know when things happen, and you know when people are actually like sorry or feel bad for something that they did. And I feel like this has helped you learn who you are. And I feel like the love life has to do with you learning how to love yourself, respect yourself, and doing the things that you need to do, is finding just pulling yourself out and being who you are, that doing the things that you're doing and whatever you're passionate about, going forward with that.
Do those make sense to you, Carrie? I hope they do.
Awesome, Miss Carrie.
Wonderful. Next, we are going to do Eva. Eva, I've got some cool cards for you.
You are very welcome, dear.
Eva, I feel like you are an extremely loyal person in relationships, okay? The reason I feel that way is because of what these cards are telling me. You have the love life card, which this relationship or your love life is being affected by this past energy, this past life energy, okay? So that just means like, I honestly feel like you're dealing with a soulmate in this life that you had in another life. Hello, love. And I feel like I need to explain how that works, because you're working on the life lesson of trust and faith right now. Now, as far as your love life is concerned, you have it also?
Mm-hmm.
As far as your love life is concerned with this other person that's currently in your life, or is an ex in your life that like wasn't faithful to you, okay? Or I'm feeling like you're an extremely faithful person, okay? Regardless, even if they work long distance and they're gone 6 months out of the year, you would never like stray from your vow and your commitment to that person. And I'm feeling that because of this imprisonment or slavery card. I honestly feel like this relationship that you have with this person started in another life, and they were like sent to prison and they were there. That's your situation. You're extremely loyal. I feel like this person was sent to prison and you have been extremely loyal to them. You haven't strayed from your commitment to them. You have not looked at another person, and the whole time that they were in prison in this past life, okay, they completely could trust you, no issue, and you wanted to prove that to them, that your love would last, okay. And that's the issue that we're dealing with in this life, is that you still have that energy from the past life relationship with this person. and it's bleeding through into this life. And what you're generally here to do is to know when to say when with this relationship. Okay. You proved how loyal you could be in the past life when this person was not even there. And I feel like you're continuing to prove that to this person, even though you're not supposed to be. Like, I feel like they've given you so many reasons not to trust them. And I feel like it goes against your ingrained love for this person for the past life that's keeping you from leaving them, even though they don't deserve you right now. Okay. And that's really the other side of the coin. And that's really what you're working on. Like, yes, that's wonderful to be trustworthy and faithful in a relationship, but when is it time to walk away from a relationship when the relationship is not something that you can build on? You're welcome, Eva. I'm glad that resonates with you. That's what you're working on right now. It's like you have to be faithful to yourself. You know, you proved that you're a faithful person, but they are not proving that they're faithful. Go ahead, Tony.
I also got the trust and faith card. And I got spirituality and religion. And I got the Atlantis card came out for you. And a lot of what Misty says, I feel like you've been learning a lot of this through some of your lives. The trust and faith. I feel like with that, with the trust and faith, I feel like in this life, I'm hearing like I feel like there was some things with betrayal for this, and it made you question your trust in people about the way I'm hearing, kind of like how the politics or whatever they called it back then handled things, and they didn't do things correctly, and it because of your religion, you had so much faith, but it was hard to trust people after this. And I feel like, I don't know if you have a fear of swimming or going on boats or anything like that from this life, but you could have a love for the sea and enjoy like just going and watching it, listening to it, just having
fish.
Fish. Yeah.
I'm seeing fish. Like she likes fish.
Yeah, I see that, and I feel like from that life of all the mistrust and stuff, I feel like it's giving you in this life a different view and being able to, I'm hearing that you're able to feel it. I don't know if you also are sensitive to politics now and you don't like being a part of it. You don't want to hear it because of that life, that it made you more, it makes you sensitive to all that. And I just feel like I'm hearing that you're more open to things, and I'm hearing that it made you learn how to listen, and you may be somebody who listens to things and then gives your opinion on it. But I feel like the trust and faith is something that you really brought forward. I feel like it may not, I'm hearing that trust needs to be built because you have so much faith in people, and sometimes it may rock the boat. But I feel like you have a lot of faith in people. It still gets tested sometimes.
I hope those messages make sense to you, Eva. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to do April Love, darling. She's our last
You're
one.
welcome, dear.
Just in time because I've got a reading I have to do. At 9:00. Woo!
You're welcome, dear.
You're welcome. Jesus. April, what the hell? April, you have persecution and inquisition here. This is talking about a witch hunt. This is talking about somebody who was persecuted for being who they were. Okay. Here's what I'm seeing. Okay. Because I'm looking at all three of these cards. No problem. This right here is somebody who was persecuted. Okay. Right next to the biblical card is automatically in my book talking about Jesus. 100% talking about Jesus. And then you have the vows card. So I feel, and like, honestly, before I even looked at all three of these cards, I heard, will he ever forgive me? Like literally heard clear as day, will he ever forgive me? I don't know, Mary Magdalene kind of energy coming through with this. But I feel like this is you feeling almost like an eternal damnation. It's really strange. I do feel like you have a very strong feelings about Jesus, even in this life. Okay, I feel like the story of Jesus makes you very sad, and it's not something that you can bear hearing. I do feel like there's a good possibility that you don't go to church for that reason, because you feel like it tarnishes his name and his memory. And I feel like I feel like you want to be very devoted in your own way to his memory. Because I'm literally seeing, it's so crazy, because I'm seeing you like kneeling before him on the cross and just like crying and begging for forgiveness. I honestly feel like you felt like you should have done more during that whole thing, but I can assure you that he does not feel like you are responsible in any way for what happened to him. Yes, he died for our sins. That's what I just heard. Why is it always got to be heavy at the end? What do you got for her? Please tell me it's not the same damn thing.
It's not. It's not.
Very intense. Very intense, April. What the hell?
I got trees. Am I echoing for you?
What?
Am I echoing for you?
No.
Okay, maybe it's just my end. So I got trees. I got father. And I got Native American. And what I got right away with that is I did hear you were a male in this life, and I feel like I'm hearing that you had they're showing me that you had a lot of siblings. And I do feel like your dad was very important in this tribe when it came to medicine, when it came to knowing where to go get the right things from, like willow trees and oak trees, that you just knew he knew what to do. And I'm hearing that you would just, he was really, I feel like in this life, this was somebody that you really, really looked up to and you learned a lot. I don't know if you feel that way with your father now, if he has taught you things in this life that has been eye-opening, and just having, I'm hearing a deep connection about either certain topics or things that you believe in, that connection from that life is there. And I'm hearing you were just being outside, and I can see you like touching the trees and talking to them, and just a big nature person and being able to go outside. And in this life, I feel like you bring a lot of knowledge from being outside. I don't know if you work outside or not, but I feel like you do need to go outside more. I think you would feel, I'm hearing, more at home and more at peace with this from this life. I don't know if you love hugging trees. I love it. Yes, because I feel like with this, I feel like you bring a lot of that you have some inner peace from this because of all the lessons that you learn and being able to help people in your tribe. I just see you with trees, and it's kind of like the male version of Pocahontas when it came to the trees and talking to them is what I'm seeing for you, love. The animals, everything. Very connected to Mother Earth and into nature. Is what I got for you, love.
Does that make sense for you, April, darling?
You like talking to animals too? I love it.
That's always fun.
It is.
It's fun when they talk back. I hope those messages resonated with you, dear.
Yes.
They're the crazy ones if they can't understand them. So.
I agree. Talk to my cat and listen all the time.
Cats, my dogs, the birds, the bugs. I talk to everything.
Yeah.
So I hope those you're welcome.
You're welcome, love.
I hope those readings were wonderful for everybody. I hope you enjoyed them tonight. I will be back tomorrow night to do spirit messages at 7:00. If you're interested in getting one of those readings, you can prepay for that. First one was way too intense. I know. I feel like you're always looking for forgiveness, though. That's what you're looking for forgiveness where you don't need to be. Like you're feeling guilty about things that you shouldn't. You're very quick to feel guilty about things. And I feel like let that be a lesson to you that you don't need to feel guilty about 99% of the things that you do. Okay. It's really out of your hands. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed our readings. We had so much fun, and we loved it. It's so much fun.
So happy we finally got to do this, that they came in.
Ooh. And so we'll be back Thursday night to do the happy mediumship readings with me and Tawny and Trashley if she's around.
Love it.
That'll be fun.
Yes,
those are $33 a piece. So we'll see you tomorrow night, Thursday night. We'll see you when we see you. And until then,
thank you guys.
Much love to everybody. Just be yourself and be happy. Bye.
Yes. Bye.